Hello everybody and welcome to another video. I hope you guys had a very great week. I actually did, but it was also very busy because I was writing a lot and I was negotiating a lot and I was receiving many new job requests. Especially on Friday, it was like crazy. I was like, whoa, what's going on? And some of them were so good I could not put them down actually, which will lead me into a very stressful beginning of next year. But I was like, that's fine, let's do this. In today's video, I wanted to talk about agencies. And I wanted to talk about agencies because last week, or I think it's actually 2 weeks ago, I received a very sweet email by one of you guys. I'm not sure if I can mention your name, but you know who you are, and I'm sending greetings out to you. Hello there, and thank you for your sweet question and sweet email and everything. So let's get right into this topic, shall we? Agencies. This is a very difficult topic actually, because not in every country it's very common to get an illustration agent. For example, in Germany, it's getting slowly a little bit more into the direction of illustrators getting agents, but it's not like, for example, in England. I guess that's a very normal thing, and I think every illustrator has an agency, and yeah, I think it's like super hard to be without an agency and receiving jobs at all. So again, it really depends. And the best thing normally is to ask colleagues of yourself, like other illustrators of which you know that they are already in the business. Normally you can find them through Instagram, for example, and then you can text them. And if they don't have like a crazy huge following there, normally they reply to you as well. And then, yeah, you can ask them what it's like to work with your agency, and would you recommend this, and blah blah, stuff like that. And yeah, Instagram is a very great way to get in contact, not only with illustrators, but also with authors, for example. And yeah, of course, not only Instagram, but I'm using Instagram a lot, so that is my platform to go when I want to talk to other artists, or yeah, authors or illustrators. And also agencies, by the way. You can find several great agencies through Instagram actually. How can you see if an agency is actually a good agency or not? First of all, if you read something like, well, you have to pay me in advance this kind of fee, like blah blah blah, then you should run. Because normally you don't pay an agent upfront. You only pay an agent when they are getting a job for you. I think it's around 15 to even 50% of the budget that you are getting from your client actually, and that's the fee you are paying to your agent, and nothing before that. So whenever you see something like, you have to pay me this and that amount so you can get into my agency, you should not do that. I think there's one exception, which is Lila Rogers, because she's also making a lot of workshops online, and of course you have to pay for that workshop. But if everything goes well, then you're also in that agency. So maybe that might be something for you as well. I think if you literally Google children's book illustration agency, then you should find plenty of different sites. But I'm trying to find a few for you guys who are also globally working, and put them in the link down below so you can find a few. But let me say this, it's really hard to get into an agency. It's pretty much just as hard as getting a publishing job, because agencies also look for marketable illustrators, because of course they also want to sell your stuff, because if they don't sell the stuff, then they don't get paid either. So you should definitely check if your work is marketable enough. It's really very hard to combine a very special style, which everyone recognizes, with something that is marketable. That is really like the art of getting an illustration agency / jobs in the illustration business. It's really a lot of trial and error, I think. Of course, you can also try to stick with your very own and special style, but if you receive like many no's of agencies or publishers, then you should consider changing a little bit, or you'll just, I don't know, you just keep on working as a part-time illustrator maybe. If that's fine for you, then that's cool as well. But yeah, in my case, I really wanted to go on in full-time, and that's why I switched a little bit around, and now I'm getting a lot of jobs actually. So how to apply for an agency? You have to have a great portfolio, and you have to write a very kind and lovely email, and this is pretty much the most important thing. You have to have a very long breath on that one, because I think it can take up to half a year until they are answering your emails, because they are receiving so many emails every single day that it's just impossible for them to answer them right away. So that's something you really have to keep in mind. You really need to have a very long breath in the children's book illustration industry. That's just how it is. Maybe you are like, oh no, this takes too long. Is my stuff good enough? I don't know, maybe I'm not for this. But at the beginning of my career, I had 2 jobs from China, and these were very big jobs. But after that, I didn't get jobs for a long time. And that was for me the point when I decided that I also wanted to work for the German industry. And I figured, okay, I'm not going anywhere with my current style in Germany, so I have to switch up things and really set that as my goal. And I think it's like, just as it is in the fashion industry, that some styles are getting into like becoming very trendy, and then other stuff is getting a little bit more old school. And some publishers really love the new stuff, but some publishers only love the old stuff, and you really have to figure stuff out and really keep your eye on the market in a very huge full picture. So then I actually made a video on this, I guess, also, but I will tell you this again. An agency normally does these few things for you. She does try to get jobs for you. So she's sending out portfolios or presenting portfolios to possible clients. And normally I think it works like this. A client is reaching out to the agency. Hello, we need an illustrator for this and that project. Do you have somebody there? And then the agency is like, yes, of course. I have here a few illustrators. Maybe you could have a look on their style and tell us which ones you like the most. So they already search in their illustration pool, or in their illustrators pool, for illustrator styles that might fit to that certain project. So there's already a little number of illustrators being picked and presented to that client. Because normally great illustration agencies have a big pool of illustrators. So this means for you that you might not get a new job every single month. That's the problem with the agencies, that because they normally have so many illustrators, there's just not enough space. But it's a great way to get into the industry. And I'm not sure, maybe some of you could tell this in the comments down below, if it's even possible to say goodbye to an agency when you are already in the industry. So yeah, that's another thing about agencies. What else? Agencies also check, of course, the contracts for you before you can check them. They already negotiate a little bit of stuff, and of course they also help you with negotiating pricing. For example, if you are very new to the business and you really don't have any clue about pricing, then it's a good thing to have an agent, because then they can tell you, okay, this normally would pay that amount, and we can try to get this and that amount of money out of this project. And yeah, so this is definitely very helpful. Some agents are very tough negotiators, some are not so much. Some are more about like, okay, we can try to get a little bit on top, but it's more important to get more jobs out of that. So it really depends a little bit. So yes, negotiating pricing and contracts is also done by the agency. And I think that's not the case for every single illustration agency, is that they are sending out your bills. So you don't have to do that. You just sit back, relax, and wait for your money to come in, which can be a good thing, because then you can just, you know, draw all the time and you don't have to worry about stuff like billing. Okay, I really hope I didn't forget about anything. If I did, and if you have more questions about that topic, then please leave them in the comments down below. And I will try to, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but I'm putting a few illustration agencies down in the info box, so you can check them out. But always keep in mind that you have to apply to them just like to every single normal job, and never apply to 2 agencies at once. I know for sure that they really don't like to see that. And as I've mentioned earlier, you can also find them via Instagram. And yes, so I wish you the best of luck for everything. Always keep in mind that it takes a lot of time, and it really depends on whether you're sticking with your path or you're giving up too early, because then you will never know if you actually could have been a full-time illustrator. And there's never too old and there's never too young. And always keep in mind that you only have this one life and you want to make the best of it, right? I do. So I'm working on my dream still, or now on the next one, which will be moving into a little house someday in the woods. So that is it for today. I really hope that you liked this video. If you liked it, then please give me a thumbs up. It really helps with the weird algorithm of YouTube. And yes, I'm also very excited when I see all the thumbs up, so that's really lovely. Thank you guys for everything, and thanks for watching, of course. And hopefully I will see you next week. And yes, take care, stay safe, stay healthy, and don't let Corona get you down. And yes, see you next week.